Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you are having or have had a blessed day. Pray today. Pray every day. Pray as much as you can throughout the day. Everything that goes right today, call it a blessing, not luck. That will help you pray and say something. It really will. Change your perspective. You have to. If everything in life is because you worked hard for it, you're never going to get there. But if it's because God blessed you because you didn't deserve a good job, you just fell into it. Because you didn't deserve, you hadn't earned this or that, you just fell into it. You didn't just fall into it. God gave it to you. Because whether you love Him or not, He loves you, right? I'm not going to be belaboring this, and there should be a picture in your corner here of a map. I just stuck that up there. If you want to zoom in and look at it, but that's what we're talking about today. Now, we're not going to talk about every single spot they stopped because Moses, the best we can tell, didn't. Moses wrote down a lot of the campsites, a lot of places they stopped. But the best we can tell, he didn't write down every single one. It wasn't a comprehensive list. Maybe it was a list that Moses thought needed to be shared or documented for whatever reason. But it's not comprehensive. It doesn't show every single place they stopped. Because we know from other writer stuff, other places they stopped. But, chapter 33 and 34, right? And we're talking about, the stages or the different locations of the journey they were on during this time of the wilderness, right? So we get several of them from Moses, but not all. And I stuck the map up in the corner because it just kind of shows you the route that they went on, and it's got the names of what was there at the time, not now, right? So that's handy for us too. Anyways, chapter 33 and 34. I'm not going to dilly-dally. 33 is quite long. Pray today. Pray about all things we talk about. Yes. Ask forgiveness, name them. Ask Him to help you sin less or no. And when you are done talking to God, shut up and listen to God. The following are the stages of which the Israelites went out by companies from the land of Egypt, under the guidance of Moses and Aaron. Moses recorded the starting points of the various stages at the direction of the Lord. These are the stages according to their starting points. The stages according to their starting points. It's not everywhere they stop, right? It's where they started in this area, right? They set out from Ramesses in the first month on the 15th day of the first month, on the day after the Passover. So you don't think April, right? That is their first month. These are, on the day after Passover, the Israelites went forth in triumph in view of all of Egypt, while the Egyptians buried those whom the Lord had struck down, every firstborn. On their gods too, the Lord executed judgment. Setting out from Ramses, I don't care how you say it. The Israelites camped at Succoth. Setting out from Succoth, they camped at Etham, near the edge of the wilderness. Setting out from Etham, they turned back to Behithroth, which is opposite Baal Zephon, and they camped opposite Migdol. Setting out for Pi Hahiroth, they crossed over through the sea into the wilderness, and after they traveled a 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham, they camped at Marah. Setting out from Marah, they camped in Elam. At Elam, there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. Setting out from Elam, they camped beside the Red Sea. Setting out from the Red Sea, they camped in the wilderness of Sin. Setting out from the wilderness of Sin, they camped at Dophkah. Setting out from Dophkah, they camped at Alush. Setting out from Alush, they camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. Setting out from Rephidim, they camped in the wilderness of Sinai. Setting out from the wilderness of Sinai, they camped in Kibroth Hatava. Setting out from Kibroth Hatava, they camped at Hazeroth. Setting out from Hazeroth, they camped at Rithma. Setting out from Rithma, they camped at Rimmon Perez. Setting out from Rimmon Perez, they camped at Libnah. Setting out from Libnah, they camped at Risha. Setting out from Risha, they camped at Kehelathah. Kehelath. Setting out from Kehelathah, they camped at Mount Shephar. Setting out from Mount Shephar, they camped at Hardadah. Setting out from Hardadah, they camped at Makaloth. Setting out from Makaloth, they camped at Tahath. Setting out from Tahath, they camped at Terah. Setting out from Terah, they camped at Mithka. Setting out from Mithka, they camped at Hashmonah. Setting out from Hashmonah, they camped at Moserah. Setting out from Moserah, they camped at Ben Jagan. Setting out from Ben Jagan, they camped at Mount Gedad. Setting out from Mount Gedad, they camped at Jotbatha. Setting out from Jotbatha, they camped at Abranah. Setting out from Abranah, they camped at Ezion-Geber. Setting out from Ezion-Geber, they camped in the wilderness of Zin, that is Kadesh. When we're in Solomon, you're gonna. I think Ezion-Geber comes up there again, but other than that, I don't think it comes up again. So we're just gonna leave it. Aaron the priest ascended Mount Horah at the Lord's direction, and there he died in the 14th year after the departure of Israelites from the land of Egypt, on the first day of the 5th month. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. When the Canaanite, the king of Arad, who ruled over Negeb in the land of Canaan, heard that the Israelites were coming, setting out from Mount Hor, they camped at Zalmonah. Setting out from Zalmonah, they camped at Punon. Setting out from Punon, they camped at Oboth. Setting out from Oboth, they camped at La-Abadim on the border of Moab. Setting out from Abadim, they camped at Dibonagad. Setting out from Dibonagad, they camped at Almon-Debalathim. Setting out from Almon-Debalathim, they camped in the Abadim range, opposite Nebo. Setting out from the Abadim range, they camped on the plains of Moab by the Jordan, opposite Jericho. They camped by the Jordan on the plains of Moab, extended from Beth Jelamoth to Abel Shittim. I can't help the way I say that. The Lord spoke to Moses on the plains of Moab by the Jericho opposite Jericho, by the Jordan opposite Jericho. Speak to Israelites to say them, when you go across the Jordan into the land of Canaan, dispossess all the inhabitants of the land before you. Destroy all their stone figures, destroy all their molten images, and demolish all their high places. You will take possession of that land and settle in it, for I have given you the land to possess. You will apportion the land among yourselves by lot, clan by clan, assigning a large heritage to a large clan, and a small heritage to a small clan. Wherever anyone's lot falls, there will be his possession. You will apportion these shares within your ancestral tribe. But if you do not dispossess the inhabitants of the land, all of them, remember what he said, if you do not dispossess the inhabitants of the land before you, those whom you allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will harass you in the land where you live, and I will treat you as I had intended to treat them. Chapter 34. Wasn't too bad. We're only 10 minutes in. I read that 33 pretty quick. The Lord spoke to Moses, give the Israelites this order. When you enter the land of Canaan, this is the territory that shall fall to you as your heritage, the land of Canaan with its boundaries. Your southern boundary will be at the wilderness of Zin, along the border of Edom. Now, look at that map if you want to, right? Zin, if you'll look on it, is kind of upper right, yeah? And Edom is across right there to the right. Yeah, what he said? What he said? Your southern boundary be at the wilderness of Zin along the border of Edom. So, you can kind of tell where that falls. You can go look at today's map and see exactly where it falls, right? Today's map. On the east, your southern boundary will begin at the end of the Salt Sea. So, what's the Salt Sea? Right, that's the Dead Sea. Right. Nothing can live there, it's so salty. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you an idea and look at this map so you kind of get a feel for things. Because in current wars and in current discussions and current politics, this stuff really matters. On the east, your southern boundary will begin at the end of the Salt Sea. Then your boundary will turn south at the Akrabim Pass and cross Zin, terminating south of Kadesh Barnea. It extends to Hazar Adar and it crosses to Azmon. Now, if you look at this, it's not going to tell you all those things, but if you look at where Zin is, and you look south of Zin, you got wilderness of Paran. Yeah? I mean, it's so hard to explain. Just go look on today's map and use this map as a reference, please. And then go back and look at these where the boundaries were, and it'll help you understand some things. Then the boundary will turn from Azmon to the Wadi of Egypt and terminate at the sea. For your western boundary, you will have the Great Sea with its coast. This will be your western boundary. Now, the Great Sea is the Mediterranean. Okay. Compared to most of the seas down there, this is a large sea. And it is full of fish and it's full of life. Right? Lots of trading goes on there. The Great Sea. Mediterranean Sea. This will be your western boundary. This will be your boundary on the north. From the Great Sea, so from the Mediterranean, draw a line to Mount Hor. And draw it from Mount Hor to Lebo Hamath, with the boundary terminating at Zadad. Then the boundary extends to Zephron and terminates at Hazar Enan. This will be your northern boundary. For your eastern boundary, you will draw a line from Hazar Enan to Shephem. From Shephem, the boundary will go down to Riblah, east of En, and descending further, the boundary will strike the ridge of the east side of the Sea of Shinnereth. Then the boundary will descend along the Jordan and terminate with the Salt Sea. Again, that's the Dead Sea, remember. The Sea of Galilee, in the New Testament, you hear the Sea of Galilee quite a bit. That's the sea he's just talking about. The Sea of Shinnereth. That is the Sea of Galilee. Same place, different name, very important time, right? Today, Kinnereth, it's like Kinnereth or something. I can't. It's something like that. Okay, this will be your land with the boundaries that surround it. Moses also gave this order to the Israelites. This is the land to be apportioned among you by lot, which the Lord has commanded to be given to the 9.5 tribes. For the tribe of the Reubenites, according to their ancestral houses, and the tribe of the Gadites, according to their ancestral houses, as well as half of the tribe of Manasseh, have already received their heritage. These 2.5 tribes have received their heritage across the Jordan, opposite Jericho in the east, toward the sunrise. Let's go look at that too, right? This is still part of the Israelite land. Different tribes, right? We have 12 tribes. We know one doesn't get the land, Levites. So we got 11. So you take away 2, we got 9. So that's what we're dealing with here. When those 2 have been taken care of, right? Because they said, please let us stay here. This is a good place for shepherding and whatnot, right? And Moses said, well, all right, as long as your men march over to fight, right, your families can stay here, and then y'all can come back here when the fighting's all done. So, okay, for the tribes of the Reubenites, according to their ancestral houses, and the Gadites, and part of Manasseh, had already received their heritage. These 2.5 tribes had received their heritage across the Jordan, opposite Jericho in the east, toward the sunrise. The Lord spoke to Moses, these are the names of the men who shall apportion the land among you: Eleazar the priest, and Joshua son of Nun. You will designate one leader from each of the tribes to apportion the land. These are the names of the men. Tribe of Judah, Caleb, son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of the Simeonites, Samuel, son of Amminadab. From the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad, son of Chislon. From the tribe of the Danites, a leader, Buckai, son of Gogli. The descendants of Joseph, from the tribe of the Manassites, a leader, Haniel, son of Ephod. And from the tribe of the Ephraimites, a leader, Kemuel, son of Shiphthan. From the tribe of the Zebulunites, a leader, Elizaphan, son of Parnak. From the tribe of the Iskarites, a leader, Paltiel, son of Azan. From the tribe of the Asherites, a leader, Ahihud, son of Shalomit. Anyway, Shalomit. From the tribe of the Naphtalites, a leader, Pedahid, son of Ammihud. These are the ones whom the Lord commanded to apportion the Israelites their heritage in the land of Canaan. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Monday we have 35 and 36 in Numbers. Tuesday we are in Deuteronomy. He's good. He's good. Because after Deuteronomy, we get into some fun stuff. In my opinion. In my opinion. We get into Joshua, son of Nun. Good stuff, alright? Get into Judges. It's pretty good stuff. But then we get Ruth. Ruth is just fantastic. Then you get 1st and 2nd Samuel, right? But we're doing really well here, y'all. What I want to point out though is after 1st, 2nd Samuel, you got Kings. Come on, I just got 1st and 2nd Kings. Yeah. 1st Chronicles. Can't wait to get to 1st Chronicles. Because then I'm getting really close to Job. My favorite book of the Old Testament. By far. Pray today. Pray about all things we talk about every single time we talk about it. Yeah. Give praise to God today. Thank God. Talk to God. And then shut up and listen. Sit silently with your thoughts. I know that's hard for a lot of you. I know it's hard for a lot of people now. We got to be entertained every minute. A phone in our hand. Or a TV screen on. Or something. But you know how you hear God? It's not from a TV. It's not from a phone. It's not even from reading a good book. It's talking to Him. And then sitting in silence. Not for 30 seconds. For minutes. Sitting in silence. And just every now and then say in your mind, here I am, Lord. If you want to hear from God, you have to listen. You're always in a hurry, always on the move, always doing things. It's going to be real hard for you to hear from God. It's part of the reason, I believe, it's so hard for a rich man to get into heaven. A rich man, a very wealthy man, normally speaking, is a very, very busy man. Go look at Elon Musk's day. Really look at it. The dude barely even sleeps at home. He is a busy man. I don't think there's time to sit and listen to God if you're that busy. Unbusy yourself. Make it so that you have plenty of time to sit and talk to God and then sit and listen. What are you doing on this earth that's more important than your relationship with God? What are you doing on this earth that will reward you even close to the same as a relationship with God will reward you someday? Nothing. Not a thing in the world you're doing is that important. Make time. Because if you don't make time for God now, when you get up there, and I feel real sorry for a lot of people because they're like, well, once you're saved, you're good. Even Peter denied Christ 3 times. Once you're saved, you're good is foolishness. Okay? What do we read in Revelations? Each and every person shall be judged by Christ, and they shall be judged on 2 things. their heart, and their deeds. If you're never helping the less fortunate, if you're never trying like that, what deeds do you have to show God? What you have done for the least of these, you have done for me. What you have not done for the least of these, you have not done for me. Yeah. I love you. Jesus Christ loves you exponentially more. Have a beautiful and blessed day.